Couple minutes here, get started. All right, good morning. I've got 9 o'clock on the dot. Thank you all for being here live on the call on a Monday morning in a very cold February. I thank you all for being here. It is really, really important that you guys are here, and thank you for that. We have some special guests today that are going to be talking about some of the tools you need to be using here at HPM. But before we go through all of that, as a reminder, we are here to improve the lives of our community with affordable healthcare. And I'm going to tell you today, probably notice my background is a little different, is because I'm here in Washington, D.C. for the NABIP conference. And we've been talking about NABIP for a couple of weeks now. And those of you that have made the leap to jump, you have made a phenomenal move in your career. I am surrounded by 700 agents here in Washington, D.C. at the conference. 700 agents from across the country are here to learn about the legislative movements that us as an organization, us as independent agents are mostly attuned to, and the things that need to change as far as policy here in Washington. So this is my first time here. I didn't have much to expect, except I am just blown away by the passion of other independent agents. And it's within all corners of this business, everything from Medicare to individual to employer benefits, long-term care. I mean, it's all over the place. But all of these folks and all of us have one thing in common, and that we are independent, but we're not alone. And that has been our mantra from day one. We want you to be independent, but we don't want you to be alone. So if you're looking for camaraderie, if you're looking for information, if you're looking to feel connected, if you're looking to build upon your career and take this seriously as a professional, and be surrounded by like-minded people in this business, then there's no better organization right now than NABIP. This year, there were over 200 new, what they call newbies here, and I'm one of them. 200 new agents that have descended down into Washington, D.C., and to talk about and to meet with politicians about the pains and sufferings that we have. And one of the major ones that I'll tell you right now, if you're not concerned about, you've been kind of sleeping at the wheel, is that there's been several carriers that have decided that they're just not going to pay commissions. And they did that on certain plans right in the middle of AEP. And so in my mind, that's not right. That's not right for you. It's not right for the business. It's not right for the clients. because you're going to end up doing something different that may or may not be the best thing for that client. So, that's just one example of things that need to change around here, because we have a voice, and internally, all of us together have a louder voice if we join an organization that has representation and has been around for a long time. Now, NABIP's been around, as an organization, 95 years, as NABIP 35 years. And so I've been a member now for about a year. And I'm not a very political guy. I don't usually get into that. It's a great way to ruin a party. But I will tell you that I have seen some very passionate and met some really great agents out here in Washington. So if you are interested in joining NABIP, we are currently the only organization in the country, HPM, we're the only organization in the country that gives you a $100 discount on your NABIP membership for the year. So if you haven't pulled the trigger yet, please send an email over to support@askhpm.com. Send it on over there, and we'll send you over the application. On the top of the application, it'll have the code already baked in on the top, and so we can get you loaded. But if you need more information, you can definitely reach out to us at support@askhpm.com. But I will tell you that you will get massive value from that, as well as newsletters and emails and all sorts of fun stuff that they give you throughout the year. So you have a chapter in your backyard, I can guarantee it. I'm part of the Central Florida chapter. The Florida chapter, Region 5 now is what everyone's calling us. So again, I'm here as a voice for you guys to really, tackle the issues that we're seeing here. So with that, we are going to jump into the training calendar here. Remember, we've got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. So I'm going to jump over to our HQ platform, and here we go. So again, if you don't have HQ, reach out to us and we'll be able to get you synced and linked with that. Under the learning, you'll see training calendar here. Go ahead and click that, and we should be able to load the trainings for the week. I'm going to go over here to week, and I'm not going to run through all of them, but I am going to highlight a few of them. We've got today at 10 o'clock, how to run an effective in-person consultation. And, sometimes we glaze over, the sales portion of that, and that's run by Spark. So thank you, Spark, for putting these trainings together. Health Sherpa's got some trainings going on, one today at noon, and then the other one at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got Humana at 2 o'clock doing a Turning 65, how to do your messaging in that. So that's pretty neat. We also have Wednesday the 26th, AvMed's doing their pharmacy savings program training at 9 o'clock. Our contracting team is available for open office hours at 11. We've got Ask Al at 9:30 on Wednesday. If you have any questions, concerns, or even rude remarks about HPM, we want to hear them. But he can act as a coach for you as we move forward in the business. You've got TRICARE training. United Healthcare is putting that on. TRICARE and VA opportunities at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. That is a great training if you're bumping into quite a few veterans. Thursday, we've got WellCare coming in the office in Orlando at 9. Susan has been great. Baycare's got a couple of trainings, one at 9:30 and then another one at 1:30. These are over in the Tampa market, so check those out. But most importantly, the most important training of the week, one you got to get to, the one you have to be at if you're in Orlando or close by, is our monthly advisor meeting. We do have a special guest from Golden Rule, United Healthcare, who's sponsoring the event, but they're going to talk about ancillaries. And over the last week, I have been to Nashville for the Connecture conference. That's the company that has built HPM Shop. And one of the things that I took away from that event is that because of the disruption in Medicare, many agents and agencies are pivoting to adding additional products like ancillary products, dental, vision, hospital indemnity, because these are things that number one, the client should really have, and why. You guys spend so much time talking to a client, prospecting, and getting them on your books, And then year after year, you're having to chase them around because the carriers switch up their benefits. Now, what if you can add a product that kind of buffers that? You don't have to worry about the copays because you have a hospital indemnity on that product that kind of like makes it solid. You know what I mean? And what if you had a dental plan so you didn't have to chase your members around because, a carrier dropped the dental or decided that they're, only going to give you $200 towards dental. So instead of chasing all your members around, you can add these additional products to kind of protect your book of business and make it more solid. Not only that, but it's really going to help with retention, and you're going to get referrals like crazy. And there's a study that shows that if you have 2 or more products with your members, your clients are 3 times more likely to stay with you. 3 times. That's crazy. So, I mean, if you're worried about retention, if you want to sleep at night, start adding additional products to your portfolio and start adding them to your clients. They need them. This isn't just about selling new products. This is about protecting your book and your clients. And so, learning a new product, these type products are not that difficult to learn. It's really, really easy. So come by on Thursday at 10 o'clock. We're going to feed you. We're going to have a great time. So if you haven't RSVP'd, please make sure you get over to the training calendar. The link is there, and we'd love to see you there. Then on Friday, we've got our What About Shop training at 9:30, and then a couple of United trainings there. So that's the training for the week. Remember, guys, we got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. All right. I'm talking about the monthly advisor meeting and how important it is to get there. Yes, we're going to be talking about that particular product, but we do this on a monthly basis. We do this 9 months out of the year, and we do this for you. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of, chasing down sponsors and, cultivating, trainings and cultures and things that we really want to bring value to you. But it's also a networking opportunity. It's also a way to connect with other agents and share success stories and maybe failures too, in person. So if you're in or around the Orlando area, that's one of the reasons why I'm really highlighting this particular event, because our team works really, really, really hard to put this on for you guys. And some of you RSVP and then just don't show. It kills us because, we're saving you a seat. We're cooking the bacon for you. We're expecting you to show up. We're telling our sponsors that you're going to be there. And then when you don't show up, it doesn't look good. And on top of it, the most important part is you're missing critical key information that's going to help your career and ultimately help your clients. So please make it a point. If you can't come, you can't come. I get it. It's too far. I just can't make it that day. Get it. But please let somebody know that you're not going to be there if you've RSVP'd. Be a gentleman, be a lady, and just let us know. And if you're interested, if you're lost, if you're not really sure how to RSVP for this, very simple, guys. You can call us or send us an email at support@askhpm.com, and we'll get you synced and linked on that. Just wanted to share that with you because the team does a phenomenal job putting this event on, and we want to make sure that you get the most value out of that. And with the trainings too. So one of the questions, I'm going to post a poll here really quick. I'm starting to build out HPM University, and we've got 54 people on this call right now, and I'm really curious to see what kind of trainings are you guys looking for, because I'm seriously going to be working very, very hard at building out HPM University. We're going to spend a lot of money, and we're going to spend a lot of time and effort building out a platform that gives you the ability to kind of walk through some of the key topics that you may need help with, here at HPM and beyond. And I'm starting to see. Thank you. We've got about 7 people that voted. Please continue to vote here. It's open. 10 people. Thank you very much. And so far, product training seems to be leading the pack, along with lead management. And technology and systems is tied for second as well. And luckily we have somebody that's going to talk about technology and systems today too. Lead management is winning. So please cast your vote now in the poll here. I really want to see exactly what is happening out there and what you guys really truly need training with. I can only guess unless you tell us. So this is really important. And these are not, just because we pick maybe one of them, it doesn't mean we're not going to do others in the future. So this is really helpful. Thank you guys for participating. We had about half of you guys vote, so that's awesome. Lead management came in number one, 66%, 14 out of 21 votes. So that is clear that I am going to work on that training first. And we probably will do a live event separately from this call, and we'll figure out how we're going to help you guys with lead management. And I'm already starting to build a presentation for it anyway. So I think that's key and critical. Obviously lead management is important. So thank you very much for that clarity. I appreciate that. All right. A couple other things we'll tackle here. Just a quick update. Silver sneakers, I got notice from Kelly Harrington, a fellow agent. Thank you, Kelly. Had mentioned that he had called into Silver Sneakers to try to get one of those at-home kits that they used to send in the mail, and apparently they don't do that anymore. So that is a big thing. So if you're out there and that gets mentioned, or your people are looking to get at-home kits, unfortunately they're not doing that anymore. So that is, Kelly's saying it's only from Humana. So it may be a thing with other carriers, but Humana is our number one selling product right now. So that's really good. Thank you, Kelly, for bringing that to our attention. I appreciate that. And guys, if you bump into a brick wall, or if you stumble or trip or get tangled in wires here because you had a bad experience, or you're finding things like this happen, please make sure that you're bubbling it up to me or the team, because we definitely want to address these issues for the rest of the crew that's on this call. They appreciate it when you bring it up, and I know you will appreciate it when they bring it up. So with that, it's 9:15. I've got another handsome gentleman on this call. His name is Sam Brody, and he's with Spark Advisors. You probably have heard of these guys. And I know Charlie's looming in the background somewhere too. I don't know if he's going to say hi, but Sam, welcome. Thank you very much for being on the call this morning. Can you do a quick intro and give us the good news?
Yeah, Justin, thanks for the intro. I think that we're going to kick it over to Charlie for the presentation, but I am, working with Charlie as an account manager here at Spark. I'm happy to be a resource for HPM and all things Spark, and just excited to work with y'all.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. And Charlie's having video issues, but Charlie, can you hear us okay? Trying. Okay, he can hear us fine. Are you going to go ahead and run with it, Charlie, or Sam? Do you want to go ahead and take it?
Yeah, let me go through it since we're having some technical issues here.
Yeah.
So we got some cool new features. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me get into our demo account. 1 second here.
You got it. And Charlie, I'm trying some other tech things in the background here to see if we can get you on. We got you. He's working on it.
There he is.
Hey.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, great. Everything was great until like 1 second before you introduced me, and
Of course, right?
phones quit off. So I'm here. Thanks, Sam, for being ready to jump in. But we are from Spark. I think to Justin's point, there's a lot going on. It's tough for agents. There's a lot of training that you need to jump into. We want the Spark platform to be a tool for you and not an encumbrance. So we want to just get out of your way. We don't have a ton of time here to go through everything. So this is not like a full platform training, but we want to show you where to go for that support. We want to show you, hey, you're on the spot, you need support. What do you do? Or generally you want to be proactive. You want to learn a little bit more, kind of where do you go from here? So let me figure out how to share my screen.
If
And
not, I'm going to, yeah, hold on one second. I'm going to try,
you got to turn it on.
yeah, try that.
Perfect. Yes,
There we
there it is. All right. So can you all see my screen?
Yep, we're good.
So I'm just logged into the Spark platform, and I kind of want to review a few things with you. I want to review, hopefully this isn't everyone's first time, but if it is, great. You get to see some complex features. So one of the cool new features that I wanted to talk about today, just to kind of show you, hey, Spark is always working on continuing to add stuff, is this bulk contact function, right? So if you are diligent about adding your contacts to Spark, then you have a good book of business here on your contacts tab of your Spark platform. So if you click into edit report here, this is the start of being able to take bulk actions. So you can go in here and you can add different variables for different folks based on where they live, what kind of products they're on. So say I want to look at Humana, maybe Cigna, and I want to search anyone basically in Florida. I'm going to put together this search. I'm going to see all these clients here. So I know that these Cigna and Humana plans are getting disrupted, so I want to reach out to them. I know that these clients have a birthday that's coming up, so I want to reach out to them. Whatever it is, the world's your oyster. You know, we can pull your data in and you can run these reports, and we can always walk through these with you. But what you can do here is now click this down arrow. It's going to pull all these people who live in Florida and have a Cigna or a Humana plan, and you can send them a scope of appointment, or you can send them a needs assessment, right? You can also export their data if you just want to give them a call so that you have all their phone numbers really handy. So if you choose email needs assessment, you can kind of customize this and say, I just want to focus on prescriptions because I know that's going to change, or you can send them the full thing. And this is going to send them an email with your face and your logo on it. And it's going to say, hey, this is Charlie reaching out to talk through your plan with you. Please fill out some of these questions for me. It's a really simple click, point, and submit form. So really, really great feature for folks to use there. And if I do get any questions in the chat, please feel free to let me know. There's a ton more. There's a ton more information on this. So you're like, okay, great. I saw that cool feature, but Charlie only talked about it for 30 seconds. How do I learn more about it? There's this need help section at the bottom of every page of the Spark platform. So you see if I click down into production or if I click into dashboard, no matter what, when I scroll down to the bottom, there's going to be this need help section. So I need help with some platform and enrollment stuff. One thing I can do is I can just click this button here, schedule a call with the Spark team. So whether you're English speaking or Spanish speaking, maybe you're setting this up for one of your downline agents, you can schedule 15 or 30 minutes with our team. I'm not sure if that page opened up, but basically this takes you to a scheduling page. The next thing here is the Spark Help Center, right? So if I'm looking for new Spark features, I can just jump into here. I can see the bulk needs assessment, and this is how I send those needs assessments out, right? We also have this search feature here, so it lets you walk through all of the core features. If you just give a quick little search, it should be pretty simple of how to do these things. The most important thing that I want you to take away, oops, sorry, I'm not sharing my tab again, is when you go to the Help Center, so I'm going to do it correct this time. You click into Help Center. It takes you to this page. There's a ton of information here, right? So like I was just showing, because I wasn't sharing my screen, you can look at all like the core platform features quickly here, or you can go to this platform change log to see all the new stuff. So here's bulk needs assessments, which was just what I was kind of showing. But most importantly is this training section here. So if you scroll down to the left, this is how you stay sharp. We have a ton of trainings that we will just show here. So, hey, I'm driving all the time. I want Spark on my phone. Why don't you have a mobile app? We have a way for you to really easily get logged in on a consistent basis from your phone on the Spark app. And we have a whole video on how to do so. So like that's where you're going to find info here. We also have a live training calendar. So if you click this, it's going to take you to the Spark page where we're going to talk to you about, hey, this is all things related to onboarding. Here's everything you need to know. We have compliance trainings. We have a ton of stuff depending on the time of year. I'm sorry, I'm sharing the wrong screen again. This is our training calendar, right? So here's an example of an onboarding event. But depending on the time of year, like we're going to have a ton of events that you can join in on. Like I said, compliance, they could be AEP related, they could be related to plan changes, et cetera. So keep your eyes peeled, and like Justin said, continuing to stay sharp is your competitive advantage. So we really, really want to push training. Okay, so I'm going to jump into support requests now, because this is something that Justin and I talked about as a huge value add for all agents, whether you have 5 clients or 500. I know there's a couple of you out there that I saw on this call that do use this feature, but the majority of you do not, right? We're just looking at the back-end data. I don't want to be creepy, but we can see some of the stuff that you're doing. So the support function is something that you kind of have to buy into, right? You have to trust that, hey, Spark is not going to steal my agents or my clients. They're not going to, treat my clients in a way that I wouldn't want them to be treated. They're not going to want to make Spark the important party, right? Like, we are serving you here, right? So that is the goal. By helping agents, we're helping clients. So that's kind of Spark's mission. But we have this function where you can go into your contact, or you can just click into this support icon, and you can get providers, or you can get support for your clients through Spark. So every single person at HPM has 50 free client support tickets. What this means is you can say, hey, my client, Justin Jacobs, he keeps calling me. He has these issues where he was used to be on this prescription, and now he's on that prescription, and the new prescription is no longer covered, and his doctor is suddenly out of network, and I can't figure it out. I have to go to this meeting. I'm going to be at this NABIP conference, right? I need Spark to help me out. You can just really quickly request client support. You pick your client who you're helping, right? So this is going to be your client list, and you can always search here. So say it's Sharon Wood. You've got this information kind of plugged in because they're already in your Spark platform, right? So she needs billing support. This is one that happens probably the most often, is billing support. So you could say, hey, it's related to this policy, or maybe it's not. All this is going to be specific to the problem, and you can kind of type in here exactly what is happening. Now, the more information that you give, the faster we're going to be able to help get a resolution. However, sometimes you're just on the fly. Specifically with billing, like, attach a file. If you have a photo, you can do this from your phone. Just attach it from your camera roll, but we want to see you add that bill that the client sent over and said, can you help me with this? You plug that in, and then what you're going to see is that you're going to be able to track Spark's responses on these issues. So here we have client is receiving a bill by mistake. Best time to call is in the morning. So Spark now has this in our task queue. We got to call Jesus, right? We got to say, hey, Jesus, I received this inquiry about your United plan. This is what Ava, my agent, or your agent, was telling me. Can I help you out with this? So again, you get 50 free of these every year. Don't be like, oh, shoot, I want to save on to them so I can use them at the end of the year. Like, if you are using them, like, you will be open to paying for them in the future. And like I said, no one's using them right now. So we really need to get you to start pushing the agenda and start, moving the ball forward here and making sure that you are using these. So ton of questions here, probably. We're also really working on this as a feature that we can continue to build out and grow. So if you ever have any feedback, I know that some of you have provided some really good feedback to us. Please share that. So, okay, so I talked about bulk client action. I talked about support requests. I talked about Spark training. And I showed you where to go to book time with the platform team. I'm going to show you that once more. So again, any page, right? I'm in the middle of submitting a billing support ticket. You can always go down to need help. So, hey, I forget how to do this. I forget how to get support from the client services team. Click in here to schedule a call. So I'm going to do this properly. Now you can see this is what this looks like, right? So you need some help with the Spark platform. You don't have to, text Nick or John or Justin or call my personal cell phone. You can book time with the true pros and schedule 15 minutes. You can also always just email Spark. Does anyone know that the Spark email offhand? support@sparkadvisors.com. If you are getting a slow response there, we also have a phone number. Where do you think you could find that? Back in the Spark platform, bottom of every page, it's going to take you to Help Center options. And you can actually see this button here for Spark support teams. And we have a contracting and platform team and their phone numbers. Again, we have this video call option right here. We are adding additional folks to our team. So if you've got slow responses in the past, that is some feedback that we have heard. We have added 4 staff in the last few weeks, and we're adding a bunch more. So we should be more available on the phone, which we know agents are on their phone or on the move. Most of the time I get to interact with agents. They're in the car. So thanks for being our road warriors. We're trying to meet you where you are. So keep giving us that feedback, keep passing that up the chain. And yeah, I don't know, Justin, anything else I should cover? I know that was a lot in a short period of time.
For 15 minutes, you absolutely crush it. Thank you very much for that. And I know we talked about some of the pain points here, but there's a couple questions in the chat here. Bruce is asking, I'd like to know if there's the best way to add my ACA clients who are turning 65 this year. We have some folks that are kind of getting that pipeline, and what's your recommendation for a guy like Bruce?
So we have, when you first join Spark, if you haven't gotten on the Spark platform, or if you have an agent who you're convincing to join HPM and thus join Spark, you can take your book of business from when you're first, moving over to Spark, and you can upload it. It's really easy because our system doesn't allow you to kind of advance until you have added those clients. However, you might need to add clients in the middle of the year, right? So say you've got all these ACA clients. ACA is 80% of your business or 50% of your business, or maybe it's just 10, but you got a bunch who are turning 65. You can email Spark and say, hey, I have a bunch of clients. How do I update my client list? Or you can go to the help center and you can find that page yourself. We actually have a form for you to submit where you can say, add Justin, Sam, Nick, John, Charlie, add them to my Spark platform. And all you have to do is send over a form or submit a form and send over some data, and we will upload that data for you. We don't do ACA right now, but we would love to hear your feedback about that and how we could be more valuable there. But yeah, we do try and make it easy to add clients.
Beautiful. Jeanette's asking, is there a provider filter? A provider can be termed, and it would be nice to group all of those members together. This is a common thing that happens quite a bit. And then even, and I know the answer to this, and you're probably going to show her, but also when drugs change, something gets dropped off the formulary or the tier gets changed. So
yeah, so we are really focused on figuring that out this year because or focused on coming up with solutions for that this year. I don't want to bore everyone, but and I also don't know the extent of it, but data sources can be really complex when they come from different places. So do we pull it from the enrollment tool? Do we pull it from CMS? Do we pull it from the carrier? Do we grab it from the provider, right? Where is this data coming from? Oftentimes, so if you say, I'm going to tie it back to client support, right? If you need to find a new PCP for your client, you might go to the website and find something and it shows you information that is actually outdated. So the best way to do it is going to be to actually call the provider's office. Of course, that takes time. Our client support team will do that for you, right? So that's a good use of your ticket. Also, if we solve that request in one phone call, it doesn't count against your ticket allotment. So only if it's back and forth or kind of a complex operation. But back to the question, there is a big focus at Spark to improve our data and to show you, hey, this is happening. I think everyone who is an agent this past AEP knows that market disruptions were a big headache and there was a lot to think through. And we want your thinking to be focused on the client, not all this other stuff that's floating around, right? So we want to point you in the right direction. We want to add flags into the platform. So I wouldn't say that we have great tools for that right now, but you can see that in the future. We also are starting to add tags into your clients. You can also search for specific drugs across your clients. I'm not sharing my screen.
I've seen that because I've been able to pull a list of folks that had specific drugs.
Yes.
And then it pulled a list of those people that were on those drugs. So,
yep.
As we get to know that, hey, this particular medication it has been bumped up, you can pull it. And then, and you can see what Charlie's doing. You can get really granular with the search engine itself. So if you wanted to say, hey, who's on Eliquis that's on WellCare, you can do that, which is pretty crazy. So I love that. Mary's mentioning that she puts carrier on ACA in notes. So she's already starting to put her ACA clients in here, for management, but also to note that when they do turn 65, she's got them tagged. And here's a cool part. If you put in their date of birth, the Spark platform automatically bubbles them up when they're turning 65. And there's actually a little call out on the dashboard that says, these are all your people turning 65. So it behooves you to put in your ACA clients, or, if you have a list of folks that you are massaging. You don't want to put garbage in there, right? You don't want to put a bunch of people that you've never talked to in there, because that's just not going to do anything. But we are going to be exploring lead management in the future. But yeah, I think, and he's pulling up the birthdays right there. You can easily, take a look at the who's turning 65 soon. We know that you got to get to them as early as possible. You don't want to wait until the month they turn 65. You want to try to talk to them 6 months in advance, and then 3 months to try to get them on a plan. So that's really cool. There is so much that you can do with this platform. And, for the amount of business that we do, I'm kind of embarrassed that we're not using Spark more often. So if you haven't already started using Spark, or if you need a refresher, or you're new here, please reach out to us and we will get you synced and linked with your own platform. We have a direct connect into HQ, so it bounces out. And by the way, Charlie, we have the Spark Help Center bounced out in HQ too, so that way they can get into it pretty quickly too. So
I will say, some folks have said, like, hey, the Help Center is great, but there's a ton of stuff here, right? And that's kind of like live by the sword, die by the sword. We want to have a ton of information for you, but how do we make it really concise? Again, you can always meet with the platform team and they can walk you through this. So always feel free to schedule 15 minutes with our team if you have a quick question. It doesn't even have to be 15 minutes, right? It can be 5 minutes. But the other thing here is leverage the search and leverage the Spark team, like email support@sparkadvisor.com. If it's non-urgent and you can get a response like in the next day, just email support and we will answer that question for you. But like I said, like if you search needs assessment, right, you're going to find all the information on needs assessment. So
it's amazing. There you go. Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you could search and destroy, but you can also, jump on the trainings. I mean, they're doing webinars all the time, and, start at the beginning is really where it's at. So you get a feel for it. You also want to spend some time exploring the platform too. You definitely don't want to be exploring the platform in October, guys. I mean, come on, it's February. You got downtime, start learning it, start mastering it now, because October's go time. You don't have time to be messing around with stuff. So that's why we've invited Charlie on here to really show you again the power of our partnership with Spark and the software that they're bringing you to make your job easy. That's what it's all about. Doris is asking, how can I download a list of people turning 65 in your area? I've got that, Doris. Just shoot us an email, support@askhpm.com, and we'll connect you. Jeanette, is there duplications when we upload an updated list from a carrier? So she's asking, maybe she's grabbing her WellCare and her Humana, and she, the same client situation. Can you tackle that real quick?
So there's a few things here. When you first join, if you haven't uploaded your book of business yet, you can just send us all your messy files and we will go through and dedupe everything. So we will match clients. Like if you have Justin Jacobs listed 5 times and it's got the same birth date and the same, Medicare ID, right? Like we can filter those out. There's only so much information we can add. So if you have a note in there that says drives a purple convertible, like we're probably not going to find a space for that in the Spark platform, but we can add information like their address and their phone number and their email and all that good stuff. So we do some of that at the very start, and then the rest of it we will actually say, hey, here's a template for how you can add that information. You can also export all of your client data, so you can match that with what you have already and what you're adding in, so that you avoid those duplicates.
Yeah, and the team at Spark is great at that, but we also have a local team that can help you too. So if you're just like, I don't know any of this, just come into the office, guys. We'll take care of you. We'll get you connected and get your data synced and linked up good. I will say, last thing that I'll note is, yes, there's some cost to some of this stuff, the birthday cards, tickets if you go over 53, uploads after your first initial one. There's some costs at Spark because, you know, we can't do everything for free. We know this, right? However, I'm happy to announce that we will be rolling out some new agent clubs where we will be giving you discounts or possibly taking care of the cost for you based on your active membership with HPM. So happy to tackle those costs with you guys as we move forward. Charlie and Sam, if you're still there, creeping in the background, thank you guys very, very much for being on the call today and taking some extra time to again show the team the power of this partnership.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate everyone's time and attention. Thanks for the questions. And yeah, we're like always here. We want to be better than ever at support this year. So we feel like that is our biggest difference maker, is like, how can we just like make it easy for you? How can we get out of your way? How can you be like, oh, Spark? Yeah, that's that company that makes things easy, right? But that's all you need to know about us. So
Right.
Thanks, Justin and team.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks, guys. All right, everyone, that's it for today. We will be hosting again next Monday, same time, same station. We really appreciate everyone being on the call here today live, and we will see you next week. Have a safe and productive week. Take care, everybody.